When we talk of volunteerism, the practice of volunteerism has been with us already for a long time for the Philippine society. It's been known as the Bayanihan spirit, if you remember that, no? The Bayanihan spirit. What is the intention of the Bayanihan? Well, to help one another. And that is also the purpose of volunteerism. Why do we have to do this? Well, of course, the reason being, one is social justice. Social justice, if you help other people in need, definitely you are also diffusing wealth to other people, no? And not only wealth, but even other resources, no? You diffuse the concentration of resources not to a few people, but you distribute that or contribute that to others in need, whether organizations or people. No, that's one, social justice. Second is solidarity. We would like to develop uh, solidarity in our community. Solidarity would mean unity. It would mean collaboration among our people. And also sustainable development. So these are the reasons. Sustainable development, because we do not want that our resources will be dissipated by a few people only. No? So sustainable development would also mean that we are trying to make our resources uh, available or lasting for not only for this generation but future generations, no, children who would come later on. No? Sustainable development, that these resources will not only be enjoyed by a few people, but later on it can be enjoyed also by children in different generations. No, we have to sustain the progress. We have to sustain the use of these resources not only during this time, but even for a long time. No, for a long time. Okay, so when we speak of volunteerism, it refers to a wide range of activities, no? Which of course include traditional form of mutual aid and developmental intervention. Actually, the term volunteerism has been defined in section 4A of the law. So I'd like you to memorize technically the definition of volunteerism in RA 9418, and you could find that in section 4, letter A. Now, when it comes to volunteerism, as applied to an educational institution, it has also been defined, no, in that law in 9418, and you could find the volunteerism in academic institutions in section 5A also of the same law. Now, you may ask, in what ways or in what concrete ways can we volunteer ourselves for national development, for instance, no, or for social justice or for solidarity? Well, there are several ways by which you could also contribute yourselves, no, for volunteerism. The first one is, of course, donation of material resources, whatever things that you could donate or whatever resources that you could give to other people or to other organizations. That is one. No, then you also have fundraising for a cause. Definitely, it's not that you are raising money for your private ends or private aggrandizement. It's for a cause. No, perhaps you would like to say donate something to the victims of certain natural calamities. No, and then the third is outreach activities, of which I suppose in NSTP you will also undertake this one time, but not at the present time because of the coronavirus pandemic. But the last time, the previous years, we had also outreach activities in nearby barangays of Manawag. So my students in NSTP were deployed to different barangays in order to help address their problems, no, in those communities. No? Next would be the environmental campaign, of which we already are doing by the caring for the fire trees, so that the more trees that we have, the better environment there would be. No? So trees are important to us because they provide not only shades, but also there is the scientific basis of absorbing any water from, so it prevents flood in one way or another. The next would be, aside from environmental campaign, we also have medical and health related advocacies. No? So my students before, they used to visit a hospital and they give Christmas gifts also, and that is their way of showing, of course, medical and health related volunteerism or advocacies. No? They would like to make the patients in that hospital happy by consoling them, by giving them Christmas gifts, or by enjoying their company just by visiting them. The patients there would be happy to have them as their guests. No? And then knowledge and change management. Knowledge and change management would pertain usually to a private entity or a private company, wherein it requires the change in organizational setup or in policies and systems. No? So this one is intended for the corporate world. No? You could also perhaps share whatever knowledge you have, or you have learned, or you have experienced, to change the kind of climate or environment in an organization. Then we have scholarship programs. Well, this one is self-explanatory. You may also give scholarships to poor but deserving students. And then finally, we have the sharing of expertise. No? Sharing of expertise, almost the same as knowledge and change management, wherein whatever knowledge or skills that you have acquired or you have learned in whatever capacity you may have in the past, you could also bring that as part of your expertise, and you share this to some people or to some organizations who may need the same. No? So those are the instances wherein you could show or manifest certain concrete activities by way of volunteerism. And of course, the particular agency that takes charge of the volunteerism functions is what we call the PNVSCA, or otherwise known as the Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency, which was created by virtue of Executive Order 134. Although in the law, in Republic Act 94/18, it was also discussed therein the main functions of the PNV-SCA, but the organizational setup, of course, was created by virtue of Executive Order 134. But if you will notice, the mandates or the functions of the PNV-SCA has also been spelled out in RA 941. So much for that. No? So okay, I will be giving you your assignment already. Aside from to give you enough time to take care of your fire trees, this is your assignment which you will include in your folder. And this is, you should date this September 12th, 2020. The first is your assignment, which you will do it on a yellow pad paper. Number one would be, what is citizenship? No? So that's my first question. Second question, what is good citizenship? Okay, so that's number two. Then number three would be, who are the citizens of the Philippines? So you have to identify. Where can you find that? Well, of course, you can find it in your constitution. No? So who are the citizens of the Philippines? Now, Number 4 would be you have to give me 5 rights of Filipino citizens. 5 rights. Well, where can you find that? Of course, also in your constitution. So you just have to read your constitution. 5 rights of citizens, Filipino citizens, with obligations, of course, with obligations. And then finally, I would like you to research on the 3 major kinds of citizenship. No? 3 major kinds of citizenship. What are those? So you have to find that, and of course you have to explain a little. I'd like you to put that also in your folder. So by next time, when I ask you to submit your folder so that I have time to check, you are ready. No? You will be ready. Our next meeting will be on the last Saturday of September. So I will be making an announcement before we meet and judge, evaluate for the different fences of the fire trees. Okay, so this is all for now. Thank you and good morning, everyone.